everybody, I'm TJ.
And I'm Natalie.
And this is Fight 7 from the second season of Warrior Showdown 2. And what's really special about this fight is it's husband versus wife. So Natalie obviously played the Egyptian priestess, and that is me as the werewolf.
Look at my awesome cape.
The cape was great.
I got an awesome sunburn in the shape of that cape.
It's true.
So I'm going to start this off by saying my husband is a glutton for punishment. He is in 3 hours of full facial prosthetics, a wig. He's in a full head-to-toe bodysuit of fur and extra padding on it to make him look bigger. He's muscular, but he needed to be like really bulky. And then he has fake teeth in his mouth and fake nails on his fingers. And those chains are real and they are heavy. We tried to use plastic ones, but they were just more dangerous because they didn't have the weight to keep them from moving too quickly and whipping too fast. And it was too unpredictable. Yeah,
we kept, because there were so many times where I used the chains to block oncoming swords, without a heavier chain, it would just flip right back up and hit me or somebody else. Once I knew the werewolf got voted in, it was important to me that it wasn't just like some guy in a furry suit. I wanted it to really look like somebody that was equal parts beast and equal parts man. So I wanted to raise him up and make him 7 feet tall and very interestingly proportioned. So I am on the recurve stilts, as she said, and one of the first things that you see when you open up the package of these stilts are, do not use on sand. And so of course we're fighting on sand. And that's one of the main reasons why it was important to me that I play the werewolf. Not because I felt like I was the best person for the role, but because I was doing so many things that I just would not subject another human to in good conscience.
But you know, you're gonna abuse yourself as much as you want.
It was tough, right? In shots like that, we see wide shots, we see the lower part of the leg. Those are CG legs that I composited over the recurve stilts. We originally weren't planning on doing that, but I just did not like the look of it. So I felt like it needed a little bit of extra effort to give it something closer to how I intended for it to be. Yeah. This shot and the upcoming shot are part of a reshoot that we did in my backyard because I just didn't have the footage and I needed it to communicate what was happening. And Natalie had just had our daughter at that point. So my parents were in town and my dad and I were playing with the camera, and I put that werewolf costume back on, and as soon as I smelt the glue, I was starting to get like PTSD. I was getting this like sense of anxiety of going back into it, and I didn't really think that it affected me that much, but it was tough. Yeah, it really was. So now you're going to start to see some of my mystical, magical elements come out to play. This was a really fun fight because, you know, the geisha assassin fight, we had 3 people fighting. And now you're about to see rumble, 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 rumble. 2 more people come up. That is the fabulous Ed, Gus, and Harris. Marks and Harris was our caveman from season 1, and Ed was our orc from season 1. They came out to play as my minions of death, my undead mummies. And this was awesome because now we have 4 people. I'm a peripheral fighting character right now, but it was great for another story element to show that, hey, like I have these playthings that I can throw at you that are kind of have a life of their own. So rather than just using, you know, inanimate swords or whatever, I get monkeys. Yeah, we thought it was cool to use other like live undead bodies to be able to do her fighting for her. And there are a number of different reasons that kind of led us to attack it from this angle. One of them is that you only have 16 spots. I had so many talented fighters who I wanted to be able to incorporate into Warrior Showdown. And who wanted to be part of it. And so this gave us an opportunity to utilize the talents of 2 more guys who really were fantastic. And they're suffering too. They're in full facial prosthetics. Yes. And they're in these white contacts with tons of sand and dust getting kicked up. So I don't in any way mean to underplay how miserable they are too. And so gung-ho. Yeah. Like they committed, they got the job done, and never a word of complaint, even though I know that they were having a hard time too. I love that.
Yeah, all that prosthetic makeup and most of the makeup was done by this awesome friend of ours, Taku Kanemaru, and he just chained them back to back, and he was just like hours of putting prosthetic makeup on people. And Courtney Lucas, Adam Kahn, and Diana Restrepo did these awesome costuming for our mummies. We didn't really know what we wanted. TJ just kind of
I showed up on the day with a bunch of gauze and fabric, and I said, can you make this look like this? And I was blown away. Like, I knew it would look good, but it looked so much better than I thought.
Yeah.
Because I knew that this fight was going to have a lot of difficult timing challenges, because I couldn't really sustain long periods of master takes. And we usually use master takes to get the choreography done. We shot it like it was different scenes. Like when we shot Natalie, it's almost like she's in a completely different space on her own, and then the werewolf and what he's doing is in his own space on his own, so that we can go back and forth and always have some kind of cutaway. One of the inspirations for how she's moving was Avatar, like the way that the waterbenders blood bend.
Not James Cameron's Avatar.
The Last Airbender. And so it was like she was moving their bodies. They don't have freedom of movement. They can only move when they're influenced by her spiritual control. So when they get hit, it's like she's getting hit, and she's feeling that impact. So rather than them coordinate themselves to her movement, we choreographed the fight with Ed and Harris. And then Natalie created movements that looked like they corresponded to the action of the mummies. And I'm just so happy with how it looked. It really,
master puppeteer.
It was something different and fun and so stinking dangerous and difficult.
But I do have to say, it was really awesome getting to pair with TJ, since we're life partners, and now we're fight partners, and that's how we met. Fighting.
Yeah, it's like for some couples, fighting creates discord and dissension, but for us, fighting brings us together. It's how we first got together, and
it's our love language.
Our love language is fighting. I'm pretty sure that chapter is left out of the book.
But here comes my mystical powers yet again. Surprise! Oh. You're going down, hubby.
Yeah, this was one I wasn't really too sure on. I think that Natalie's character has a lot of components that make her interesting. She's mysterious, she's compelling, she's beautiful. She has these powers that I think are fun to watch. But the werewolf is popular too. So I wasn't quite sure which way it was going to go. I'm happy with how it did, because it let us do some fun playing for round 2. If that ever comes out. We talk about this a lot, where people say 2 years is too long to wait for a fight. I agree, but the amount of post-production that goes into these is just, I can't even say it, like thousands of hours.
He's been working on this, and the thing is, our post-production process is one person. Like TJ's doing the editing, the mix, the sound mixing, the color correcting, all the special effects. He's building all these elements that usually on a major motion picture you have a team of like 7 editors and assistant editors, and he's one person doing all of this.
So if the day should come when, you know, this turns into something more than just a fun project for us, and we can bring on a team of people and pay them, these fights would roll out a lot faster. Yeah. But as long as it's, you know, me by myself with my own workstation, it takes some time.
Unfortunately, I cannot help in the practical aspect of post at all. I can just give him my
But she is good at looking good.
Hey, look at that!
Check out those glowing eyes. Thanks for tuning in. This was probably the heaviest post-production out of any of the round 1 fights. And to put it into perspective, it is a blip on the map compared to the fights from round 2. So the amount of time that goes into that is exponentially beyond what I can even communicate. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Next time.